Okay, so welcome again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about the gap between winners and losers. This is very important, and if you feel like you've been stuck and you feel like you've been trying but there are no results, you need to understand these principles. And this is one of the most recurring theme that I've seen talking to a bunch of people who are losers and people who are winners. And it's very simple. In today's video, my main intention and my main goal is to share to you guys the understanding of why is there a gap between winners and losers, how can you close that gap, and how could you choose to become a winner. And if you feel like you've been not getting any results, this is the video for you. If you're new to this channel, my name is Elijah. Essentially, I'm building a sales training company upwards to 8-figure. And if you want to follow along, this is the journey of the entire journey for going through there. But I don't want to waste your time. I want to document my journey as well. And this is some of the principles, and I want to share it throughout you guys while I get there. But I want to bring you guys with me and essentially help you guys also to help you achieve your goals or whatever it is you're doing. All right, so the gap. So what is the gap between winners and losers? So you have to understand that the main thing with the gap between winners and losers, they have a purpose. And you probably heard this a million times already on what is your purpose, what is your why, all these things, right? And you've probably thought about it, and you probably said to yourself, oh, my purpose is so I can become free, or freedom. All this superficial, broad answer, all right? That's not your answer. I'm going to tell it to you right now, that is not your answer. You have to dig deep in your purpose, right? Both winners and losers have a purpose, but the difference between them is their understanding of the purpose that they're fulfilling, right? So, for example, I talked to a guy today. He's a professional fighter. He's undefeated, very great guy. And we're talking about, I'm asking him, how could he remain so consistent? He's working 3-4 times a day, and working out 3 times a day, and he's insanely consistent. He's never taken a break. Like, he's insanely consistent. How could you do it? And why are there people who can't have the same consistency as you, right? And we're going to discuss about that later, about consistency. But he told me, well, it's because of my purpose, right? And the main thing I got out of our conversation is he has a deeper level of understanding in his purpose and his intentions and why he's alive, right? And you have to understand that your time is limited. It's not going to be like, okay, I'll just do it the next day or whatever, right? And that's the difference between a winner and a loser, right? Like, they have a purpose, but they don't remind it to themselves day in and day out. So you have to dig deep. Maybe you need to unfold some of your past trauma or your past childhood, fears, anxiety, and the things that you've been shoving under the rug. Maybe you need to pull it out and actually say, okay, what are the things that I'm afraid of? And how could I use this to my advantage, right? That's number one thing. You have to figure out your purpose, and you need to be very firm with it. The people that I talk to that are winners, I know for a fact what their purpose is. And when I speak with them, I know for a fact, okay, this guy's mission, he believes in it. But if I speak to someone, oh yeah, he has a purpose, but it's flat, right? There's layers to it. I don't see or sense it to them. So that's the biggest difference between a winner and a loser. They know their purpose, but the winner have a deeper understanding of their purpose. And I don't want you to, just take this for granted. I don't want you to bullshit this either. Go in and understand your purpose, right? And it could be anything else. Your purpose could be anything, but you need to live it day by day. Next thing is, your environment is important, right? So when I say environment, maybe you're living in an environment right now that's not conducive to where you want to be at. But here's what people make a mistake on, right? They're like, oh, like, yeah, you're right. I'm not in the right environment to perform. You're right. Like, the people in my environment, in my community don't understand. My friends don't understand. My family don't understand. Okay, who cares? Right? The winner acknowledges that, but still finds a way to perform even the environment they're in is against them. So if you're in an environment right now that's not the best, it's not the perfect condition, we know that already. But what are you gonna do about it? Right? The winner makes something happen even though he doesn't have the best condition, and the loser waits for the perfect condition. So if you're that person right now, that's probably why you're losing. You're waiting for the best environment, the best time. There's no such thing as a best time. It's a psyop. It's not real. It's fake. So if you've been pushing off something that you should do right now and you're miserable, you're wasting time for saying, I'm going to wait for the perfect time, the perfect decision, because that's fake. That is not real. And if you keep pushing it away, you're just wasting your time. You're just going to regret doing it later. And I've done this personally myself. I've literally watched 2 years of entrepreneurship, drop shipping videos, and I've never done anything. I'm like, oh, but I don't know what to do, this, and that. That was back when I was 16, 17, right? 2 years, no execution, just mental masturbation. We acknowledge that your environment is not the best, but you have to do something about it. And then once you get a proof of concept and you're able to perform during those not the best environment, then imagine once you're able to move out of the environment, you're in the right environment, you're in the right circle, you're in the like-minded individual, then you'll just 10x your potential. But here's what you have to understand. For you to be able to be in that circle where it's like-minded and that you're able to actually communicate with them, you need to have some sort of value and some skin in the game to actually communicate with them and feel them, right? Understand like what they're going through. And if you feel like, oh, but it's easy to say, okay, then you're meant to become a loser, right? And I'm talking to people who wants to win. And this is the gap that I've been noticing. And if you want to close that gap for you being a loser and actually win yourself, not even just talking about extrinsic winning, I'm talking about intrinsic, right? Within you, inside you. And people put up a facade outside, they're like, oh yeah, I'm winning, yeah, I'm the best. But inside, they're not winning. So you need to win the battles inside you, not the outside, right? Because the outside, you can't control that. What you can control is here and here. You cannot control what's outside. So the environment, you acknowledge that, but you can't do anything about it. So you control what you have is within the environment within you, and you operate even though you're not in the best condition. That's the difference between them, and that's how you can close the gap between you feeling like you're behind to actually getting results. Here's another mindset shift that I want you guys to understand. You are no different from anyone, right? You are not different from someone who's been doing it for longer than you, and you're no different from someone who's making money, making 100K a month, making millions of dollars online, or someone who's been in the industry for a long time. You are no different than them. Again, but it's easy to say, but this guy had this and this and that. It's because they were able to perform at that condition. They put themselves to meet opportunities. That's why they're able to actually put themselves to become a winner. So that's the number one thing you need to understand. These things that I've been telling you, your environment is important, your purpose is important. You have to understand that those things in a deeper level, and you guys have no difference, right? The person that you've been looking up and you feel like is so far away to catch up from, he's just been doing it longer than you, and he just didn't quit. That's it. That's the biggest gap, right? You feel like they're far away from you, but they're actually not. They're like a few steps ahead of you. And you cannot put them in such a big pedestal. That's what one thing you need to understand. Whatever is out there, if someone has accomplished it, you can do it yourself too, because that gives you power within yourself. And if you believe that you can't do it, then you're just reinforcing the reality that that's not achievable for you. So if you've been operating like you've been doing the things that you're supposed to do to get results, but your self-feedback loop, your feedback loop right now in your image, in yourself, is like, oh, that's so far away from me, guess what happens? You're not gonna attract opportunities to you. So you have to understand this. It's a very simple concept. And again, you're gonna tell me, oh, but that's easy to tell to Elijah, that's easy for you to say. I've been in your spot. I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly why you're thinking that way, right? It's because the people around you, again, I know that for a fact. I live in a city, very small. I lived in a third world country. Your family is telling you, go to college, do all these things, right? And then you just been conditioned growing up, and you didn't have these beliefs. It was instilled into you. So you have to understand these things. It was forced onto you. So you have to think now and use your critical thinking and use your brain. Okay, are these beliefs conducive to who I want to truly become, or are these beliefs reinforced to me and it's withholding me to become the best version of myself? Right? For me, the moving anchor is always, how can I serve God better? Right? And then if that's my anchor, then are these beliefs that's being reinforced to me withholding that? And are these beliefs helping me to push that purpose, that mission that I have in my life, or is it withholding it? That's a very simple question that you can ask yourself. Write it down, put some thought about it, right? And understand that you're no different from anyone. They've just been doing it for a longer enough time and they just didn't quit. And you've been quitting, you keep restarting the loop of you, oh, I'm gonna start, then don't start. Oh, I'm gonna start and then do some work and then restart, which leads me to my next thing, right? Your time recovery needs to be faster. So if you've taken an L, everybody has taken an L. Even the greatest athletes has taken L's, right? Even Khabib, who's undefeated, has taken L's. Maybe he hasn't taken an L in the octagon, but he's taken an L from training, from practice. He voluntarily put himself to places where he would grow and he would be tested and challenged. So when the time comes when he needs to perform, he's already had enough experience to win. But here's the biggest difference between a winner and a loser. A winner, okay, let's talk about losers first. A loser, when they take an L, a setback, a big damage to themselves, it takes months, weeks, hours, or like a long time horizon for them to say, okay, you know what? I'm okay with that now, and let's get past over it and let's actually try to do something about the situation. Right? It takes them months and weeks. When I'm talking about time recovery needs to be faster, a winner, when they receive setback, pushbacks, losses, they see the situation and in a split second they make a decision. That's the biggest difference between a loser and a winner. A winner makes decision very quick and he acknowledges that the decision he's made wasn't the right decision, but he can't do anything about the past anymore. The only thing that you can make a difference is the present. So if you've been pulling the past and you've been dragging on the past about, oh, this happened to me, so so that's why I can't do this. You don't understand me. Okay, cool. Remain a loser forever. No one's forcing you to win, but this is the difference. The people that you look up to and the people that's made it and are winners, they just understand and acknowledge that, okay, I lost, cool, what can I do about it? They move on. They don't talk about it. And the reason why you're probably not getting any results, you're probably using the same strategy that people who are winning right now. But the biggest difference is if you lose and take a setback, you take days, weeks to get back into it again and actually get some type of like wins, because there's micro wins and there's macro wins, right? So those micro wins are very important to stack up to a big win. So for example, like let's say to get a one big win, you need 4 micro wins. But to get those 4 micro wins, you need to get consistent, right? So for example, you win 1, 2, and then you set back and okay, you restart again, 1, 2, 3, 4, but that should be the thing. And then now you get 1 macro big win. But what happens is it goes 1, 2, stop, okay, wait a few days and nothing happens. It goes 1, 2, it's so slow, right? It needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, macro win. 1, 2, 3, 4, micro win, and then go to the next one, right? So you need to be faster. You need to recover faster. Stop being emotional about anything that you're feeling right now and be logical with when you're making decisions. Now, if you're like, oh, I can do this now, and then we're human natures, right? There will be time when you feel like you can't get up in the morning and actually do the work. If he can do it for you, do it for someone else. I'm gonna refer back to my friend that's a professional fighter. He's undefeated right now. One thing he's told me and he gets teary about is, he told me, bro, I love what I'm doing and I've seen the sacrifices my parents made for me to get here. And it would be a disservice for them, for me not to be the greatest, not to be a winner, to just aim for mediocrity. So if you yourself can't motivate yourself or get out of the morning and you feel shitty on getting to do the work, or you feel like you're not motivated to do it, then look at the people that sacrifice to get where you're at right now. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's a good friend of yours, maybe it's a relative, or it's your dad, your mother, your brother that sacrificed everything. Maybe their dream, they've sacrificed their goals for you to be in the situation and the position you're in right now. It is a disservice for them, for you to not be the best version of yourself, and it would be a disservice of you on not requiring and wanting the best version of yourself. Do you understand? Right? If you can do it for yourself, then do it for someone else. It's number one thing you need to do, right? Again, I have 2 more, and we're going to talk about consistency in the last one, and we're going to talk about the last one to just hit home this entire thing. So we're talking about consistency, all right? The difference between the guys who's made it and the guys who's not made it is consistency. It's easy to be great for a day. It's easy to be great for a week. It's easy to be great for a month. It's easy to be great for a year. But the difference between the Kobe Bryant and the guys who are seasonal greats or like weekly greats, or like, you know, like let's say Linsanity, like Jeremy Lin is good, but what's the difference between him and Kobe Bryant? Kobe was great his entire career. So if someone looked back at your career and you're in your deathbed, was it consistent on being great? You need to understand that every single day it restarts, and you need to earn that stripe again every single day. I think this is what people miss on. They think like once they win, they deserve everything, and then okay, cool, I'm gonna let off the gas now. I've done this mistake. A lot of guys, I've seen this is the most common pitfall. They feel like they've achieved something and they become egotistical, and then they put up a barrier now to not learn. That's the biggest pitfall a lot of entrepreneurs make, a lot of people make, is their consistency declines once they get higher. So how do you battle this, and how do you actually close on the gap? Well, again, all these things I've been telling you right now will help you and supplement your consistency. If you don't understand all these things we just been talking about the last 20 minutes, then you won't be able to be consistent. That's why I put it on the end, right? You have to make sure that you're consistent and everything is earned every single day. It's not just an overnight thing. It's not a weekly thing. It's not a monthly thing. It's not a yearly thing. You need to live a life. It should be a way of life. That's it. All right. You need to become a winner every single day. You can be a winner for a day, for 2 days, for a week, for 2 months, for a year, 3 years, 5 years. But at the end of the day, you will be judged once you're in your deathbed. And you look at your life. Did I live accordingly to my purpose? And was I consistent on it? So you have to understand that your time is limited, right? That you're not going to have this opportunity of the lifetime. I'll be honest to you guys, right? And we'll go to the next one right now, actually. To hit this entire thing home is, do you want it bad enough? A lot of people talk. They love talking. They love yapping about how, yeah, I want it so bad. I want to do this and that. But you're lying to yourself. Everyone that I look in their eyes and they stare in their eyes and they're like, I want it bad, bro. Like, this is, like, I know I'm going to do this. I look in their eyes, they're lying on themselves straight up. They're not acknowledging their fears. You know, some of the winners that I know, they're so transparent and vulnerable with what they're fearing. Their fear is, and they seek help for it. Right? Some of the greats actually have therapists. It's crazy. Obviously, maybe, you know, not everybody are like that, but like people, again, the environment, right? Once you get a proof of concept, you need to be surrounded by great like-minded individuals to keep you accountable. But you need to be able to be vulnerable with yourself and look in the mirror that, do I actually want it bad enough? I'm challenging you right now. After you finish watching this video, look at the mirror and ask yourself, do you want it bad enough? And don't lie to yourself. If you don't want it bad enough, okay, cool, accept it. Acknowledge that you don't want it bad enough. Okay, well now, ask yourself, why do I not want it bad enough? And why do I even want to do this in the first place? Just be real with yourself. This is how you can close the gap of you not getting any results. Because I guarantee you, you probably have the vehicle, you have the method to become successful. It's here right now. That's the gap right now. It's like your mindset's not operating on where it needs to be at for your reality to catch up to where you want it to be at. You need to ask yourself, do you want it bad enough? Why do you want it? And again, this is not even a motivational whatever video. I'm being real with you. And maybe you don't want it bad enough, and okay, cool, just go get a job, bro. Like, entrepreneurship is full of uncertainty. It's full of failures. It's full of, you know, questioning, high highs, low lows. And it's not for everybody. And to be fair with you, this generation right now is one of the most easiest generation to become a winner. It's one of the easiest time to become successful, have a 6-figure earning, 7-figure earning, if you want it bad enough. Again, you need to know and understand your purpose first to know it. Why do you even want it bad enough? Right? This is why, you know, like I'm telling you guys, when I talk about these things, right? The reason why when I transition to closing or like high ticket sales, if you guys don't know, I'm like in this business model. It's because I've asked myself and I've failed consistently. Like I keep hopping off on different business model, and I realized I keep trying to escape reality. Any business model I've gone to, I could have really just stuck through it and made it work out. It's not about the business model. It's not about the opportunity. It's about you, yourself. How do you expect yourself to win if you can't make it work out on whatever you're doing right now? Every winner wins in any scenario, any environment, given the chance, any opportunity, they will win. Guaranteed winners. And I realized this. I needed to stop hopping from different opportunities to different opportunities, and I had to just face the reality that I suck, that I need to work on myself, and I needed to increase my value as a human being and just face it, the reality that, brother, you don't want it bad enough, you're not good enough, and what are you gonna do about it? Eventually, you're gonna get full of yourself, and you're just gonna ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Do you want it bad enough? Again, that's the last question I'm gonna leave you guys with. Do you want it bad enough? If you guys found something valuable in this, and just let's be real, man. Like, we're literally at the stretch at the end of the year, and again, we're gonna do the same thing again another year. It's just not a year, bro. It needs to be a lifetime. It should be a way of life. Again, hope you guys found something valuable in this video. Again, see you guys in the next one, and I wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Peace out.